And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day here of the World Team League WTL 2024 Summer Code S Round 2, day number 2. I'm of course your Live VIP. We just wrapped up with Duckling Open. It was a bittersweet. It was an unfortunate kind of finale to it. Unfortunately, there was some latency issues from the side of our Polish Protoss player of one of our finalists. So the finals was cut a little bit short, but that means we're able to jump right into WTL World Team League. Let's go. We just wrapped up with day 1 last night. It was an intense day of StarCraft, and now we're here. We're back with our second match, our second round of lineups. We have Krystianer versus Coffee, we have Wayne versus Cyan, and Cham versus Strange, with Starlight Twinkle versus Mystery Gaming. Now, we are behind by a couple of minutes. I want to say like 5 minutes or so. So we will do our best to catch up and try to catch up with the live feed, with the live broadcast of what is going on. Here we go. Up first, we have, of course, our first best of 2. As a reminder, this is going to be a best of 2 as well, not a best of 3 or anything of the sort. Bear that in mind. Oh, as we are diving on in. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Post Youth, we have Krystianer for Starlight Twinkle. And in the bottom left, we have Coffee for Mystery Gaming. Here we go. Again, Krystianer, he's a new pickup. If for those who are maybe unaware, Starlight Twinkle used to consist of 3 main players. Starlight Twinkle was Cham, alongside Wayne, alongside Nice. They were the trifecta of Starlight Twinkle. Nice has since left the team. He has joined Team Little Fairy instead, and he's going to be competing for Twisted Fairy as a result. And that did leave a gap. That did leave a hole in Starlight Twinkle, a hole to be filled by another Protoss player. And we now have that player, that is Krystianer. He is a new pickup here from the team, is going to be able to compete in WTL, and Krystianer, he popped off last week. He was so happy with himself, he popped off. If you remember, Krystianer did take down Rainer in their series against Basilisk. It was a wild result, it was a wild series. Again, Krystianer, he has brought down some of the best Zerg players in the world. His PvZ is crazy. And for him to bring down Rainer was impressive. Was very impressive last week. It is a lot to live up to. And yeah, with that was Starlight Twinkle actually winning over Basilisk. That was a crazy result. Starlight Twinkle already starting off with a big win, but now they're up against Mystery Gaming. Mystery Gaming, they took down Offside last week as well. Coffee has been on fire. Coffee has been looking very impressive. He is top 2 Terran in China, top 2 second only to Oliveira, and even then, Coffee has gone toe-to-toe with Oliveira in the past as well. So I do think that these two players are similarly matched here. I would not be surprised if this goes for a 1-1 score, for example, but I'm excited to see where this takes us. Again, predictions in the chat will be open for the second series. It won't be open now just because we're jumping in and this best of 2 has already kind of begun. Did begin ahead of time, so we'll be posting those predictions for the second series. We'll get there. But for now, we do have Coffee going for a 1-1 double gas opener, and we can see why. It's for a proxy starport. Okay, straight up 1-1-1 here out of Coffee. Proxy starport can be one of 2 things. It could be a proxy liberator, proxy medevac as well. Medevac would be to elevate the Hellions into the main base. Liberator would be to kind of attack from 2 fronts, from multiple fronts. Now, this should be a medevac, especially based on the building layout, based on the map layout, because there's only 1 ramp leading into the 2 bases. It's very easy to defend, very easy to hold on to. Hellions are on the way. We should be getting into medevacs to try to rally and drop those Hellions into a middle line to roast up some probes and to get some economic damage done. There it is. There it is. Medevac is on the way. But Krystianer so quick to scout here. Oh, did he see? He did. He barely did catch a glimpse here of the starport. He's fully aware of what's going on, and Krystianer, he has a little bit of time to respond. Krystianer, he is chronoing out his Stalker. He's going to be fully walling off at that ramp as well. He should be fully walling off. And he is now prepared for the opener, for the build. Good start here for Krystianer. Good start so far, but can he minimize his damage? Can he minimize his losses? Hellions to get across the map. We have not walled off, by the way. We do have some good SimCity, though. But there's a hole. There's a hole here. Behind the middle line, probes are going to be going down. Oh, they line up! No! 6 probes go down! The workers line up, and we're not done, by the way. We are looking for 1 more worker kill. Looks like we won't be able to get it, but that is 6 probes going down, and we get another volley. 8 probes going down in total. We cancel the medevac, going for a liberator instead. 9 probes going down. Despite the scout, despite Krystianer scouting and seeing everything, he was not in position. The SimCity was not good enough. The probes, they were lining up. And Coffee now suddenly is in a good position. Suddenly this opener was better for Coffee. With that, the pressure is now on Krystianer to bounce back. The pressure is on. He's moving out across the map with his Stalkers as we speak. Blink is on the way. It is a Twilight Council opener for Blink Stalkers. But again, it is not going to be easy. Yeah, you can see him trying to catch the production, but the building has already lifted up, is already racing back home. Krystianer did miss that starport. Just making sure there's no like tech lab and continued starport production. We can see continued Liberator. We're actually creating a Liberator in the center of the map. I love this. A lot of top tier Terran players do this in this kind of scenario, because otherwise your starport is going to be stuck floating back home. May as well make use of it, land it out in the open. Is it really going to be scattered? Is it really going to be shut down? And we are pushing on 2 bases. Stim only just started. Stim is still on the way, but we still have some tanks. We have some Liberators as well. 1 lib in the main. Coffee is pushing. Krystianer trying to meet the army, but he misses. He does miss the army just barely. He's out of position. We're going for the Nexus. And that Nexus is looking so exposed, so vulnerable. Liberator gets into the main base, and Krystianer, he's being picked apart. Ooh, big tank volleys going off. We get 1 tank, but for so many Stalkers, Blink is still not done, by the way. Coffee doing so much. He shuts down the Stalkers. He denies mining. He gets a cancel on the Nexus. And Liberator comes in towards that natural tri-pronged attack here from Coffee. And Krystianer, he cannot keep up. There's just so much momentum going on the way here of the Terran player. We dive on that Immortal. The Immortal goes down. Now it looks like Coffee is going to be cleaned up, finally. Thankfully, he's being cleaned up, but Krystianer, he's still hurting. He's still hurting here. And 8 probes go down. You can see Coffee just setting up here in the center of the map. And with that, Coffee now has an economic lead. He's up in workers, up in economy. He has mules on top of that. Typically, the Protoss player should be ahead in probes in this situation, and because he's not, he's behind. We can see Krystianer trying to expand and trying to take another 3rd base. Does catch a tank. Not bad. We do at least catch a tank here, but this also means that there's nothing at home to defend. And that means that we're going to be canceling that 3rd base for a 2nd time. Yeah, we force a recall, but there's no saving this Nexus. Liberator to just keep the Stalkers busy. Nexus is cancelled. And Coffee just containing Krystianer to 2 bases for as long as he can. It's going to be cleaned up. There is at least that. We do bleed out a medevac, and we lost a tank earlier, so at least from the side of Krystianer, at least he has been catching some high-tech units. He's killed, what is it, 3, maybe 4 tanks so far. He's gotten a couple of medevacs. He's gotten the Liberators. It is still an uphill battle here for Krystianer, but things could be worse. Back at home, Coffee getting into a CC. Oh, that's a bit of a brutal supply block for Krystianer. Will eventually break out of it. Back at home, Coffee getting into the rest of his Raxes, the rest of his production setup, of course. Again, the big thing for Krystianer is the resetting of his tank count. Reset the tank count time and time again. As I say, that's still 2 tanks in the main. Oof. We catch some Stalkers. That's going to be 1 Stalker going down. And we catch the Observer. Keen eyes there by Coffee. Now, there's a lot of potential with these Stalkers, is what I should say. Especially with Blink, we can pick away at Marines, we can catch medevacs, we can catch tanks. But the boys are being pulled. The boys are being pulled. Let's go. Coffee, he knows. He knows how far ahead he is. He knows how little Krystianer has to defend. This is a bold move here for Coffee, but there is that 1 Colossus. Can we somehow hold on? Can we survive this? Coffee rocking up with 3 tanks. Get some tank volleys off. Doesn't get the immortal. Bear that in mind. The immortal does survive. Colossus getting a lot of swipes in. Show us the force fields. Not bad. Force fields. They slow down the advance here of Coffee. Liberator comes in from behind. 5 probes go down. We have turrets on the way. The tanks are getting within range of the Nexus. Now, what's important here is that, yes, Coffee did bleed out Marines and SCVs, but he didn't lose any tanks. Coffee didn't lose a single tank of that push. And there's no saving the space. Like, Krystianer cannot engage with those tanks. He's going to try to. He has to. Reinforcements have right. That's 4 tanks he's pushing into. It's not going to happen. We shut down the Colossi. Both of them. The overcharge means nothing. GG gets called, and Coffee takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Coffee. From the beginning, he was just in the driver's seat the entire game. Very impressive stuff there from Coffee. My condolences to Krystianer. He had a hard time recovering from the initial harassment. Again, to scout and still lose so much of your economy was brutal. And that was the beginning. Well, that was the first domino falling there, as Coffee was then able to just capitalize on that, take an economic lead, push out with his army, and snowball out of control. And now we're getting into our next game. In the bottom right hand corner, we have Krystianer for Starlight Twinkle. In the top left, we have Coffee for Mystery Gaming. Let's go. Let us go. Plus one timing big. I mean, it was the push, but also alongside that, it was Krystianer being crippled as well. Krystianer, he just had a really rough start to that game. Down the economy, down the army. If you remember, his third base was denied twice. Twice it was denied. And he barely had any mining in his bases, as there was a Liberator in the main, Liberator in the natural. It was brutal. It was brutal. Krystianer, though, doing his best to try to hold on there, and he was fighting back in his own way. Picking up high-tech units, but alas, still too much to overcome, and now we're getting into game number 2. And hopefully Krystianer can shake it off. Hopefully we can recover here. Hopefully we can bounce back. I'm hoping for a back and forth series. I mean, Krystianer, I would say, is the ace player of his team. Looking at their lineup, Krystianer alongside Cham and Wayne. Oh, actually, I don't know if I can say that with certainty. I think Krystianer and Wayne are pretty comparable in skill. Cham is a wild card. Cham, he's like the X factor of his team. Where he did take down Trigger last week. That's true. Like, Cham was wild. He was very chaotic, very aggressive, very all in. Very hard to read. Ooh, as this time Coffee's going for a single gas open. He's going for a Rax expand. So this time Coffee going for an economic build. Mixing it up here compared to what happened in game 1. Meanwhile, Krystianer going for a gate expand. Okay. We go. So this time we should be having a much more stable start to the game. Because Coffee isn't being aggressive, there's no big opportunity for Coffee to look to get ahead. So, you know, we're just easing away into the mid game, or in towards the early to mid game. We have to have a Robo on the way here from Krystianer. Interesting, actually, going for a Robo-based opener. With this is a very safe way to play. It's one of two things. We can get into early Immortal production, we can get into early Colossus production as well. The downside here is that Krystianer has no map control early on. He has no Blink or Phoenixes, so he has no way to like chase and shut down drop play and be really active and maneuverable across the map. To make up for that, I believe Krystianer should be going for a War Prism first. With a War Prism, you can be somewhat aggressive and somewhat assertive. Again, not as flexible as you would be with Blink or with Phoenixes, for example. But the plus side is that you do get access to faster Colossus. That's like the purpose of this build, typically. Is the fast Colossus leads into a much more decisive kind of dealing with a bio-based army. And there it is, the Bay is on the way. Safety Immortal first, so we have an army. We have some units to work with, but there's the Bay on the way, as we mentioned, for Colossus. And that should just shut down any kind of, you know, bio-aggression. 3 Rax Marine, or 3 Raxes, for example. or 3-1-1 base pushes. We can see though that Coffee is mixing it up. Did go for an economic opener initially, and behind this getting to a 1-1-1 into Banshees. Okay. Banshees followed by a prioritization of tank production. Interesting. I believe Coffee didn't quite scout the opener and the tech. With these tanks, we're going to have an early game defense against Blink Stalkers, but this looks like the beginnings of a 2-base push. We've seen this a lot from players like Bjorn, we saw this from Oliveira as well, and even Clem. I think Clem did this build against, I almost said Krystianer. It was Clem versus Firefly yesterday, in day 1. Clem, he rushed into early tanks at the Banshees, he pulled a couple of boys, and he moved out. I think it was on Golden Aura if I remember correctly. It was on Golden Aura. So we'll see if Coffee throws down a 3rd CC, or if he pushes. If he does push, I do like Krystianer's position with those Colossi. Meanwhile, Banshee gets across the map. Ooh, we do not have an observer ready for this. Probes are going down. Very nice damage here from this Banshee. We got 5 probe kills. There we go, the observer does pop out. We can force this back, but that's going to be 6 worker kills in total, and the Banshee survives. So Coffee already starting off with a big start. Already starting off ahead. He did get eyes on the Prism, so you can see Coffee trying to hunt down that Prism and trying to shut it down. He rotates over towards the right-hand side. Krystianer, he knows he got scattered, so he rotates over towards the left. Krystianer, he does back off. Again, going for that Colossus drop. Not Disruptor, Colossus. And he misses the army. This is concerning. He doesn't have the Colossus to defend. Oh. No, he doesn't have the Colossus to defend back at home. Harassing across the map instead, and we are forced to recall. Yeah, Krystianer out of position. Tanks, they siege up within range of the base. Colossus does arrive though. And with the help of this Colossus, we should shut this down. Oh, the spread from Coffee. Nice spread here. It takes down the... Oh, it doesn't quite take down the Immortal. The Prism, no! The Prism goes down. The Colossus as well. And it looks like Coffee has too much. Coffee has too much. He breaks through the 3rd base, takes down the mineral line. Gets on top of the Nexus. No more Immortals, no more Colossi. The Viking came in clutch. GG gets called, and Coffee takes the 2-0 over Krystianer. GG. Very decisive push there. Again, we've seen these Banshee tank pushes quite often in this matchup as of late. And again, we spoke about Clem earlier, how he tried it against Firefly. He failed against Firefly. But here, Krystianer, he was out of position. No shield battery at the 3rd base. Of course, his Colossus wasn't at the 3rd initially either. So there was nothing stopping Coffee from just walking up to the 3rd and sieging. He just walked up, siege within range. There was nothing to slow him down. GG, and with that, Coffee able to shut down that army. The Viking coming in clutch as well. And with that, Mystery Gaming starting off with a strong lead. A solid 2-0 here in favor of Coffee. Solid 2-0. Now we're getting ready for our next best of 2. Oh, it is going to be using his phone as his cam. Do love to see it. So you get to see his lovely face. Likewise, Cyan getting ready. This one's going to be an interesting series here. Once again, I feel like we're pretty evenly matched, but here we go. In the top right-hand corner, we have Wayne for Starlight Twinkle. And in the bottom left, we have Cyan for Mystery Gaming. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets in the chat for how you believe this series will unfold. Will it be a 1-1 score or a 2-0 in either direction? Best of luck with your predictions. Best of luck. Meanwhile, Wayne already popping up here. Mining through that mineral wall, going for the gold base. Rushing into that gold. And Cyan, he doesn't check. He initially is going across the map towards the natural, and he will soon piece it together. But by the time he does, he won't be able to cannon rush it, for example. Won't be able to respond with the forge, but he can respond with the depths. You can see the probe checking the triangular 3rd, and now doesn't quite double back to the goal base, not yet. Yeah, he's going to check the main. He's checking the main base for an early gas or an early spawning pool. Cyan will now confirm that there is no early tech, so now he knows that a hatchery has been taken, and now it has to be the goal base. So Cyan has been able to piece it together. Back at home, how do we respond? We can go straight up just gate expand or gate cyber expand. We can go for a 2-gate opener instead for double adept production. We've seen different reactions from different players. Yeah, the probe does get eyes on it. We've seen the hatchery. Cyan should be expanding. There it is. So it's going to be a gate in the cyber core followed by that nexus. And mining through the minerals. Now he's going to be able to harass with the depths on the right hand side. Ooh, even set up a proxy location. Bappy, what do you have in store for us? Cyan, you have my attention here as Wayne is going to be main darting over towards the gold. Cybercore is done. We don't have a pylon set up though. There's no pylon on the right hand side, not yet at least. Gases are being taken. This would be the time for a pylon from Cyan. So just waiting for our first adept. Warp gate is not being delayed. Bear that in mind. Warp gate is on the way. So it looks like it could be a Twilight Council opener, maybe a Robo opener as well. There it is. Twilight Council gets thrown down. Looking to be Glaive Adepts. Could also be Dark Templar. Could be one or the other. Reminds me, I still need to check how Firefly won the 3 games. Oh, watch the VOD, Pappy. Mate, they were really fun games. Really fun games. To sum it up, and again, the summarization doesn't do it justice, but I don't know if I want to spoil it, actually. Do check out the VODs. There's some amazing games. Whether it's on YouTube or on Twitch, you can check them out. But Firefly had an amazing night as we are getting into a Dark Shrine. Okay, this is going to be a Dark Shrine opener here from Cyan, not Glaive Adepts. And the Overlord has yet to confirm. Yeah, Proxy Pylon across the map, and because Wayne knows it's not a Stargate opener, we should be getting safety Spore Crawlers. Like, he has no confirmation whether it's Glaive Adepts, or Charge Base All-In, or Dark Templar, could be anything. So Wayne should be covering all his bases. Lings are moving out. Trying to get a read on what's going on. Gateway's on the way. That's how we can get faster warp-ins across the map. There's a Roach Warren. 4-minute Roach Warren. Solid timing here from Wayne. Very responsible timing with that Roach Warren. We catch some of the Lings. Spore is on the way. I believe the Spore, yep, it's going to be at the gold. And it should be done in time. And Spores, they don't take long at all to make, so should finish up just in time here. And we have a Spore at the natural as well. Adepts are going to be threatening that natural, though. Wayne responds with his Lings. Oh, right, of course, I almost forgot. This DT variation, this build, has no Robo. There's no Robo, there's no Warp Prism because of that, and because we have saved money by not making a Robo, we're going for a third base. Third base is on the way, DTs are waddling in. Can they get on top of the Spore? No transfuse! Yeah, there's no transfuse available. We get on top of the Spore and it's gonna go down. We take down one Dark Templar, but only one. And Cyan has control of the gold base. We're going for the hatchery. We're going for the gold. Drones are forced away. Spore is repositioning, but the hatchery's getting so low. Oh no! And it's waddling off of creep. There's no saving the hatchery. How do you shut down the gold? Just give Cyan 3 Dark Templar. And he does get a kill. Remember, there's no mobile detection either, so we can just keep going. We do back off for now. Ooh, the Lings, though, they get a surround on the third base. They force a cancel. That's a pretty big moment here if we had even one DT to defend back at home. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Instead, the DTs are still across the map. They catch a queen. Ooh, they get a second queen as well. Wayne! Bit of missed movement there, rallying his army into the Dark Templar. 3 queens go down. We get a surround here on the 4th. Or on the backup 3rd. So even though Cyan is stuck on 2 bases, even though his 3rd base was cancelled, at the same time, he still has a better economy. At the same time, Wayne is down in drones and is even in bases. So Cyan is still in a good position. Good force field. Yeah, Lings are forced back. layer is done, so now we have some Overseers. Dark Templar have to back off. And both players are just expanding, getting into their third bases. Really, my eyes are on Wayne. I don't know if you noticed, but Wayne hasn't made a drone in quite some time. He hasn't made a drone. He's amassing roaches as we speak, and he may just go for a 2-base all-in. Yes, there is a third hatchery on the way, but it may just be for larva. As Wayne has been stuck on 44 drones for a couple of minutes now, but oh, there we go. He does make a wave of workers. So he is now droning. Looks like he was just being safe. I think he still wants to apply some pressure here with roach speed. But he is droning. Meanwhile, Cyan trying to hunt down some of these overlords. Yeah, the follow-up Archon drop. Oh, gets an overlord. Gets one. At the same time, Wayne sending out half his army across the map. There are units to defend back at home. Job does get in. A good splash damage takes down a drone. Oh, getting a lot of workers actually. 3, 4, 5 drones go down. And never underestimate the splash damage on an Archon. The counterattack runs into the Stalker army. Cyan defends back at home. Archon harass is not over, by the way. We get another, what, 7 drone kills. An extra 2 workers. And here comes the main army towards that third base. Cyan consolidating his army at that third. Wayne has to respond. Oh, looks like, I think that was an Archon going down, potentially. Did he try to hit that third? Yeah, Cyan just clearing up as much creep as he can. Yeah, looks like one Archon did go down. Bit of miscontrol there out of Cyan. It's a nice win for Wayne. But that's a lot of creep, and another Overlord falls. Another 2 Overlords. That does supply block Wayne. Pretty big supply block, actually. We have high ground vision with the Observer. We can just blink into the main base. Avoid the army. We'll hunt down another Overlord. GG gets called. It's just too much damage there. And Cyan takes game number 1. Wow, GG, Papi. Oh my god. Cyan, calm down. GG, well played. Cyan smiling to himself there, happy about that win. Again, was a stressful moment for him there going up against that goal base, but he did shut it down completely there. Very well done. And with that, we're getting ready for our next game. It is going to be Wayne's map of choice. It is loser's pick, and Wayne, he's going for post-youth. Let's go. In the bottom right-hand corner, so bottom left-hand corner, we have Wayne for Starlight Twinkle. And in the top right, we have Cyan for Mystery Gaming. And remember, Wayne, the pressure is on. The pressure is on. He needs to win here and now. Otherwise, the series is over. Otherwise, it's a 4-0. I mean, we'll still play out the final best of 2, but this is a brutal start for Starlight Twinkle. Especially considering that, again, I do rate both Krystianer and Wayne very highly. But I also rate Coffee and Cyan quite highly as well. Like, it's... they're all quite close in skill, and I was hoping for some 1-1 scores, but things are looking bleak. Things are looking bleak here for Starlight Twinkle. They need your energy. They need your support in the chat to bounce back. T too hot. He forgot because win. Okay. I see. He got too excited and burned himself. Smurge. Oh, did he still burn? Is his tongue burned right now? Is he like, I need a moment. No shot. No, Cyan, he burned his tongue. No. Smooth. I mean, we've all been there, right? Who hasn't burned their tongue on some hot coffee? Alright, we need we do need a moment here. And hopefully Cyan's okay. Maybe just getting a glass of cold water to cool his tongue down. Oh, okay, we're good. We're good, Pappy, we're good. The coffee was too hot today. True. The coffee's it's too hot. It's too hot. Cyan, calm down. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. And so far, so good. You know, standard openers here from both Wayne and Cyan. Standard openers as we do get into this. My apologies. That is going to be a second gateway on the way here for Cyan. Okay. Oh, Nexus first. Okay, my apologies. Sorry, I was trying to piece together the build of Cyan. It was a Nexus first before the first gateway even, so very greedy build here by Cyan. Very greedy. Like, I had a puzzled look on my face when I was looking at the production tab. I was like, why are the 2 gates still on the way? I was confused for a moment, thinking it was like a 3-gate opener or something, but it was a delayed first gateway. So the greed is real from Cyan. You can do this on post-youth, again, because of the map, because of the features of this map, because you have a free hybrid base in your main. It is so easy to defend, so easy to secure. So with that, Cyan has a worker lead. And once again, Twilight Council opener. Now, meanwhile, across the map, we do see Wayne going for the gold, but not being as greedy as Cyan, because that gold base is the 3rd, not the natural. We'll see if he can get away with it. We saw in the previous game that Cyan was able to punish the gold. Can he do it again? Now, with this Twilight Council opener, it could be Glaive Adepts, or it could be Dark Templar once again. It could be DTs 2 games in a row, 3rd gateway's on the way. We haven't seen the gases yet. If we did, we could try to ascertain which build this is, as Adept does confirm the gold. Good scout here from Cyan. Go. And there it is Glaive. So we're seeing kind of the wide berth of builds available here for Cyan. He is willing to mix it up. Game 1, DTs. Game 2, going to be Glaive Adepts. Overlord up. Do we scout? We do not. I think we barely did miss it. Looking at the vision here, do we have confirmation? Yeah, I think we barely did miss the scout. We have an Evo chamber on the way. Uh-oh. Evo chamber in production here for Wayne. Not a Roach Warren. Drones are caught out as they transfer over. 2 drones go down. 3 drones even. Good harassment by Cyan. But I'm concerned with this Evo chamber should be for +1 melee. I believe we're skipping Roaches. I believe we may even go into Banelings. Banelings are not a bad defense against Glaive Adepts, but they're difficult. They're very difficult to work with. There it is. +1 melees on the way. Against pure Ling, Adepts are ideal. There it is. There's that Baneling nest. Now, the way this works is that we need to preemptively morph in some Banelings, and we need to keep up with the Shades. If we're unable to do that, then these Adepts are going to wreak havoc in the bases of Wayne. I'm worried for him. I'm concerned. Lings, they dive in. They do get a surround. A decent surround here on the Adepts. We do shade away. But there's another reinforcing wave, and the problem here is that most Adepts survived. Most Adepts did survive, and the Bailey Nest is still not done. Bailey Nest is still on the way. Cyan trying to bypass those Lings, making his way towards that main. That's a lot of Lings, though. We should be okay. Good positioning here on the ramp. Very nice positioning. Lings, they try to engage, but they're going to be shut down. It's a meat grinder. Almost every Ling falls. And now we make our way into the mineral line. Again, that ramp, it's so narrow, it's so small, it's such a brutal choke point. Good positioning by Cyan. They're shading in towards that pocket base. Doesn't commit. The drones, they came back. No, they came back too soon. We forced the recall. 4 more drones go down. And with that, look at the worker disparity. Look at the massive worker lead for Cyan. He got 7 drone kills. He's on 50 probes. He did force a little lost mine time as well. And now the pressure is on Wayne to counterattack. That's a lot of Banelings. That's 15 Banelings on the way. Now, something important about Ling Bane is that force fields are king. Like, there's no way to deal with force fields. There's no Ravagers. So, a lot is going to come down to these force fields. How good are they going to be? Can we hold on here? As Banelings are waddling in. Force fields are thrown down. We do create a choke point, but we're busting it up. We barely aren't. Overcharge is, you can see the Banelings are zoned away. They cannot engage. Good force fields by Cyan. Another force field here on top of the ramp. Yeah, there's just no way in. And we get 3 more drones. And Wayne is all in. He's all in at this point. More force fields thrown down. We do crash in finally into the Zealots. The probes. Oh, they stop moving. Oh, they stopped moving for a moment. There are 7 probes go down, but the majority survive. You can see Cyan still up 10 workers. Still up 10 probes. Why? Because Wayne was committed. Now Wayne is droning. As the aggression has failed, now we get the lair on the way. That's such a late 7-minute lair timing for Wayne. Ay, ay, ay. And here comes the counterattack. Now, thankfully, there are some Banelings. Oh, the Banelings! Yeah, they forced the split out of these Zealots. But alas, we have another reinforcing wave of Zealots on the way. Banelings, they crash in. Nice last-second split there from Cyan. Yeah, trading as efficiently as possible, but he should be cleaned up. But again, Cyan forcing out more and more Lings, more Zealots coming up as well. Where are the Banelings? Where are those Banelings? They're gone. They haven't been rebuilt. They're not ready yet. And now we're getting on top of the Queens. Nice hold position micro. We are holding on. We're buying time for those Banelings. Behind this, +2 is on the way for Cyan. Templar Archives for Archon production. And Wayne holds. It did cost him 7 drones, but he does hold. God, that's a lot of Zealots. Oh, the Banelings! Oh, some good connections. A good connection. Oh, God! Initially, and we do catch out more of those Zealots as well. Very nicely done. Cyan turning back a little bit too soon there. He's being cleaned up. And we need that Templar Archives. We need those Archons. As the Adept Harass continues. Another 2 workers fall. We force back the army. And now we see Wayne getting into Roaches. Okay, now it's going to be Ling Bane Roach Ravager. A bit of a more diverse army. And Zealot Harass once again continues. Good positioning here. We fall back to the wall. Making use of the terrain. Yeah, avoiding any kind of surround. Banelings once again rolling in. No Baneling speed. And Cyan is taking the gold. He's taking that gold base. Still up in probes. Which again should not be happening. And again, another reason for this is that Wayne has cut drones. He's cut workers. Sticking with a sub 3 base saturation. Decent connection with those Banelings at least. Still amassing more Ling Bane Roach. Zealot Rabbi comes in. There are Banelings at home. So we can shut this harassment down. But here come the Archons. Here comes the main force. Towards that goal base. Good force field. Doesn't get the Roaches though. They do escape. At the same time, a Ling counterattack with his stack defense back at home. We have cannons, we have shield batteries. Cyan, he will defend. And he just continues to deny any kind of mining here at the goal base. Gets a Roach. Does get Roach. Double Robo on the way. That's going to be for double Immortal production. We don't even need Colossi. We don't even need Disruptors. Immortal Archon is going to be good enough. Yes, there we go. The Immortals are now on the way. Zealot Rambai once again. For the most part, Wayne should be able to keep up with this. Like, he has been investing quite heavily into his army. As I say that though, Queen goes down. Catch a Queen, we catch a couple workers. Good target firing out of Cyan. Does focus fire 5 drones. And the problem is that right now there's no answer to the Archon Immortal based army. There's no economy to support Ling Bane Roach Ravager to max out. There's no tech into lurkers, for example. Wayne needs to get some damage done. Ling Rambai is going to be stifled. It's going to be stopped. More Immortals on the way. You may see Wayne taking a bit of a supply lead here. That is true, but that is inflated supply. Like, that is not the most efficient army. He's still relying heavily here on Roach Ravager. So the soup does lie. As the quality of the army is still superior here for Cyan. There we go. Banelings are rolling in towards that third base. This is a big moment if Cyan doesn't react in time. Up, we get in. No reaction. And there it is. You can see the kill count there. 12 probes go down. 16. Oh, we're not done. 17, 19 probes go down. A good counterattack here from Wayne. He did need that. His main army still having a hard time pushing in. Zealous from behind. The Lings, they do go for a big counterattack. They're going for the Nexus, and they get us around. Good piles here on the Immortal as well. And I think that was a cancel. That was a cancel on the Nexus. We did see the refund there. But we contain a Cyan here to 4 bases. Another Ling run by. Where's the side defense? Out of range. We depower the Robos. Wayne making some magic happen here. Baneling run bys, the Ling run bys, the piles from these Ravagers. Oof. Now, what's scary though is that, again, because of Wayne's low drone count, he doesn't have a bank. What does that mean? If a fight goes badly, if a fight goes awry for Wayne, it's going to be over. It's going to be over then and there. Like Wayne, he's fighting on a knife's edge. Because he's stuck on 50 drones. Big Ling run by though. Let's go. Cyan doing his best hero impression. The wall is not a wall. It's wide open. Lings, they flood into the main base. We force a recall. Oh, this recall though is going to brutalize those Lings. Only 10 probes go down. At the same time, a big Zealot counterattack catching out Queens. This is doing more damage. Sure, Cyan may have lost 10 probes, but look at this. 3 Queens go down and 7 drones. Even more than that. We force back the main army, and now Cyan can push. Wayne is in trouble. Wayne is in trouble here. Again, what was keeping him in this game was his ability to keep Cyan back at home. But look at this death bull of an army. How many Immortals is that? I think that's 8. 8 Immortals, like 10 Archons? Jesus. That's an army. That's a death bull. That's... Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it is 8 Immortals as we do move out. Zealot run back towards the left-hand side, and there's just no dealing with this army. It's not going to happen. As we break through the goal base. Again, we have to try to chip away at this army slowly over time. We barely do not get the Archon. Wayne trying to amass some kind of defense here. And these ramps are difficult to push into. See Cyan just rotating around. Gets a kill in the hatchery. And he bypasses the ramp here. Ling Runby is going to force Cyan back. As the 5th is cancelled again for a second time. We even get a High Templar as well. So Wayne is buying some time, but even Wayne knows he can't deal with this. We can see on the production tab here, Hydrogen is done. Lurker Den is on the way. Lurkers are a way to defend. They are a way to hold. But we need a lot of Lurkers, is the problem. We need a lot of Lurkers. We need them fast. So can Wayne buy some time once again? Can he go for another run by? Can he force back the army? Can he force a recall? That's what he's looking for. As here comes Cyan, moving out once again. There are 4 Lurkers on the way. And Lurkers can be impressive against ground toss, but even 4 Lurkers pales in comparison to this army. Hive is done. We're getting into Lurker range. 5th Lurker is in production. We can see Wayne going for another Ling run by. At the same time, a Zealot run by is coming in as well towards the left-hand side. Yeah, Zealots, they do hit the left-hand side. Wow, they slowed down Cyan a little bit, but that's a kill in the hatchery. A kill on the 5th. While they rain down on the Immortals, we just take them to the face. It doesn't even matter. We can just stutter step forward. We take down the Roach Ravager and the Lurkers as well. GG gets called. There was no way to deal with the main army. And Cyan takes the 2-0. Even with the burnt tongue. Smooch. Take care, Papi. Take care. Oh, we've caught up? And we have caught up with the clean feed. Let's go. Looks like they needed some time to actually gather the players, but Cham versus Strange is about to begin. It's about to begin, and here we go. In the top right hand corner, we have Cham for Starlight Twinkle. And in the bottom left, we have Strange for Mystery Gaming. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions should soon be open, so get ready for it. There it is. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take this. As a reminder, Starlight Twinkle, Mystery Gaming have already won this series. They've already won 4-0, but there's still a little bit more on the line here. Standings, map score is important when it comes to overall standings at the end of the season to determine who makes it and who doesn't. Likewise, individual rating also matters as well for invites into Masters Coliseum. So here we go. So again, place your bets. You do have a minute or so to get your bets going here with your Twitch channel points. Otherwise, let's get into the game. We do see Strange. Oh my god, going for a Nexus. What is it with the Nexus first so far? I mean, Dynasty, you can be quite greedy here. Similarly to post Youth, where you have a pocket base available to you. Likewise, Dynasty has a pocket gold base. So Strange going Nexus first makes a lot of sense on a map like this. Just because you're that much safer, you're that much more secure, it's that much more difficult to punish. Especially in this matchup. Again, usually you would skip the goal base against a Terran or a Protoss player. We've seen it in TVP, PvP, TVT. You skip it because it can be abused by range-based units. In this matchup, Ling Bane can't really touch you. Ling Bane can't really harass that mineral line. So Protoss and Terran players they're a lot more free to expand in that location a lot faster, to rush into that gold. As a result, we have seen whenever a Zerg player is forced to play on this map, we've seen a lot of Roach rushes. We've seen a lot of early Roach warns to be assertive, to be aggressive, to try to punish that goal base with mixed success. Solid mixed success there when it comes to that kind of response. Catching up. Not everyone is EBA level. True, EBA. I think we were having this discussion the other day. EBA is the best Terran player in Europe. That is true. Second best Protoss. Aye. Yesterday we were having a discussion about Terrans during the stream, and EBA did come up as the best Terran in Europe. Did come up by the chat. I have to agree. I agree with second best Protoss. Oh god. Shaking my head. As you see, Cham is overloaded as being forced back. One shot away from going down. Barely. Oh, does get shut down. Does fall. At least did confirm the opener. At least is aware of what Strange was up to. Showtime EBA Max X, right? No, Lambo's off race. Yeah. And Mark's off race. I think Mark's off race is that the best Terran? Mark's off race? Kappa. Aye. So now we do see Strange getting into his third, rushing into... Wait, what? Sorry, I was a little bit distracted by the nonsense going on in chat. I was a little bit distracted regarding the opener here. Strange rushing to +1 on the Forge? My apologies. I just made an assumption that it would be something like a Twilight Council opener, but no, it was a Forge opener out of Strange. What's going on? It was a Forge before Robo, before Twilight Council as well. Is this gonna be like +2? Okay. I'm leaning along the lines of maybe like a +2 charge-based all-in, or maybe +2 H-Gates Blink Stalker-based all-in. if we're making use of the gold minerals, though, charge would make some sense here if we wanted to, like, throw down a bunch of, like, a wave of gateways and work towards that. I'm curious. I'm excited. Strange, what do you have for us? What do you have, puppy? What do you have? Back at home, we have Cham going for his lair. Was a bit of an earlier lair timing there. Roaches are amassing as we speak. We spoke about this earlier, how on this map we have seen a lot of earlier roach-based play and roach-based aggression in ZVP. And the Immortal has begun. There's +2, as you mentioned. It is going to be a +2 timing of some sort, whether it's charge or blink, yet to be determined. Double robot. Wait, oh my god. Okay. Not going to be either here, not yet, as we're getting to a second robot, getting to a bay as well. Strange, he's cooking, Papi, he's cooking. Let's go. So we only got the Twilight Council for +2, by the way. The Twilight Council was just for +2, we're just massing up Immortals. And there it is. Blink is now on the way. Delayed Blink, but is on the way after the setup of the production. And here we go. Cham collapsing on the army. Does have a lot of Ravagers. Can he get this around? Does get the sentry. Cannon does fall. The overcharge putting in a lot of work. Good force fields here, but they're being knocked down one after the other. Cham busting his way through. We're running out of Lings. We're bleeding out a lot of Lings here, but it looks like we barely do get on top of the army. Shield battery goes down. Boys are being pulled. The army is forced back for a moment, but here come the reinforcements. And Cham with this all in before +2 kicks in, before the second robo kicks in. Cham, can he get on top of those Immortals? It's so close. But he gets 19 probe kills. He cripples the economy. And he has control of the low ground. Again, Cham cutting workers at 46. Just massing Lings across the map. And again, this is how Cham beat Trigger, if you remember, last week. Cham did not trigger down with a Ling Ravager all in. And we have the Nexus. Now, at least Strange did keep his Immortals alive. I'm impressed. I'm impressed here. The Immortals did survive this. All of them. But again, that's 23 probe kills. And from here, Cham, he can rotate around and punish that mineral line. He can pile down that mineral line and make it so difficult for Strange to mine from it. And knock him down to a 1 base economy. As Colossi are on the way. Good force fields. Oh, we do catch the Ravagers, but who caught who? The Colossus! No! Colossus does survive, barely. Whew. Does make it out. Strange gonna try and stabilize, but behind this Cham, he has been droning. Something that Cham rarely does, but he has been droning up. Ling Rambai coming in. The wall is not a wall. Yeah, the mineral line has opened up. We bust on in. Nice hold position here. Inside mineral line probes are going down. Oh my god, so many of them. I say that. 2 probes go down. Still a decent amount. Lings will escape. The probes got low, but most did survive. Most probes did make it out alive there. Strange going for a counterattack. Now, Cham has been a little bit greedy here, droning up to 62 or 61 now. But now he's focusing on his Roach Ravager. He's amassing an army. Ling's going for another counterattack. And can Cham hold? What does Strange have to work with? 3 Immortals, 2 Colossi, a good Stalker count. He has +2, remember that. Did rush into it, +2 versus the +0 of Cham. Spine Crawler buying some time. More Ravagers morphing in. As Strange, he just rotated around towards the gold. Cham trying to collapse on this. Won't be able to. Does pull back his workers. Hasn't engaged yet. But Strange is a little bit isolated. We could try to catch that army. Stalker's being a little bit ambitious here. Oh. 2 of them go down. Oh, that is a brutal supply block. 7 Overlords on the way here for Cham. Aye. Is going to slow him down a little bit. 8 Overlords on the way. But the hive is done, and we're getting into Viper production. That is going to be our answer to the Colossi. To yoink them in with those Vipers. Meanwhile, Strange, he's, again, recovering in the worker count at least, but what about the supply? What about the army here? What about everything else? Strange should be stuck at home, but with the arrival of these Vipers, we can break him. We can try to break this defensive position here. Cham can push in. And from here, Strange going to be pulling back towards his third base, towards his would-be fourth. He has 3 Colossi, not a bad amount. Cham has to be careful to push in prematurely. His Vipers are ready. Yeah, they're topped up. We're looking for those abductions, looking for those yoinks. Can we get those Colossi? We get 1, we get 2, and we get all 3. Yeah, 3 Colossi get yoinked, and it looks like 2 of them do escape within range of the overcharge. Strange, he's holding. Does keep them alive. Yeah, and he forces back the army, diving on top of the roaches as well. Strange, popping off. And he's gonna be able to shut down every single roach, every single ravager as well. What an insane fight here from Strange. Despite the supply lead from Cham, didn't even matter. Did misjudge. And Strange, he's pushing. Oh my god. Crazy. Again, Cham a little bit too excited earlier, a little bit too trigger happy with those abductions. Despite that, the Colossus did survive. Now Cham, he does remax. He's pushing in. Here comes some more yoinks, and this time we can shut down the Colossi. Yeah, we do get 2 of them. Strange did overextend. Not expecting the remax. Despite the incredible defense he just had, he does throw away a lot of his army. And now Cham is back in the driver's seat. That was a tense moment there. That was a tense moment. And I mean, Strange was popping off, don't get me wrong. That was an impressive defense earlier. But again, Strange, he got a little bit too excited. He moved out a little bit too much. He overestimated what he had, and he underestimated the remax potential of Cham. And with that, Cham, now the pendulum swings back in his favor, and can Strange pull off another miracle defense? The problem is that he's down to 1 Colossus. Vipers, they're full of energy once again. We're pushing in. Here come the yoinks. And this time there's no escape. This time they're not getting away. Not again, Papi, not again. And Cham is going to be fighting back for his team. Krystianer and Wayne may have struggled, but GG gets called, and Cham takes game number 1. GG. Let's go. Oh my god, that sum things up. And in the bottom right hand corner, we have Cham for Starlight Twinkle. El Chamaco, if you will. And sporting in the top left, we have his opponent. We have Strange for Mystery Gaming. Here we go. And as we get into this, a big shout out to Jeff Bezos in the chat. I did notice you earlier in that previous game, but a shout out to Jeff Bezos subscribing 12 months, a year of support. Thank you so much, Jeff. Gracias, papi, gracias. Papi, thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Always, papi, always. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is Tosimba? Can we have that discussion? Never mind. We cannot have that discussion. Este Jeff. Mectarian is Imba, Papi, Imba. True. Here we go. We're selling on in to our second game. And Amazon, so I can spare a Prime sub. Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. Always do. Oh, mate, Jeff. I know how tight things can be sometimes. To afford that sub, do appreciate it. As behind this, Strange is going for a gate expand. This time a tempered build. If you remember last game, he went for a Nexus first, but that is something that's something more viable on a map like Dynasty, on a map like post-youth as well, which is what we've already seen tonight. Here on Oceanborn, something a lot more standard, something a lot safer here at a Strange. Not cutting as many corners. Settling into his opener, but this time I'm going to be paying a little bit closer attention to Strange. Again, it caught me off guard when I, looked at the production tab last game and I saw +1 attack on the way with a Robo before Twilight Council. I was in shock as to what I was seeing. Tried to piece it together, and yeah, it was a very interesting build out of Strange. Didn't quite get going, unfortunately. Cham was able to stop him before he really could, and now we have a much more standard Stargate opener. Stargate from Strange. Cham getting into his Hatchcast pool. Likewise for Cham, he's a very aggressive player, very aggressive, can be very all-in. So we'll try to keep an eye on his worker count, keep an eye on his saturation, on his roach production. I would not put it past him to go for another 2 or even 3 base push. Would not put it past him. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. Gracias, Venitron. Venitron? Thank you. As interesting, it's going to be a Phoenix first, not an Oracle. Okay, now with a Phoenix-based opener, we're going to be hunting down Overlords. We're going to be hunting down Overlord after Overlord here on the map, denying vision from Cham, and this can lead into Glaive Adepts. Now, we have seen these more, quote-unquote, like macro Glaive Adept follow-ups, where you don't have a Robo, you go for a Twilight Council, into a 3rd base. I'm curious if that's going to be the case here for Strange. As interesting, we're investing into a 2nd Phoenix. Okay. Now, with this 2nd Phoenix, we're going to be able to threaten Queens. We should be going up to at least 3. At least 3 Phoenixes. This can be supported by charge lots. More often than not. But I'm curious. As we're going for a Robo. Okay. Robo before expansion. With that Robo follow, we can go into Immortal production or work towards Colossi. Forge is on the way. Okay, once again, very tech heavy, still staying on 2 bases. But because of the Forge, we should be expanding. Like, we should be working towards a 3rd base. It's a delayed 3rd, but should be on the way. I say that just because we're going to be working on upgrades, and it's going to take a while for those upgrades to really kick in. Meanwhile, Cham throwing down an early Bailey Nest. Uh-oh. And he's going for his own Lingbane aggression. Oh. No. Looks like we have a little bit of a hiccup here in the connection, but should be okay. I say that. Again, we are casting from a clean feed, and sometimes a clean feed can be a little bit unstable. So far, so good. There we go. Phoenixes, they do hit that natural base. Again, there are 3 of them. We do pick up 2 drones. Immortals are amassing. And Cham is droning. Okay, I assumed that he was going to be hyper-aggressive with Lingbane, but he would have been. But Cham confirms there's no 3rd. There's still no 3rd base, by the way. I assumed there would be with +1. But Strange is still stuck on 2 bases. And there we go. Finally, the probe moves out. We are looking to expand. Again, a late 3rd, but it's on the way. Meanwhile, we do get eyes on the Roach Warren. We shut down an Overlord. A couple more drones go down in the flyby. We've gone up to four Phoenixes. 3 probes go down, 5 in total. Good damage dealt here by Strange. Behind this, are working towards Immortals. There's the Bay on the way for Colossus or Disruptor production. I imagine Colossus. +1 is on the way. Working towards +2. Once again, just a really tech-heavy style, and we ignore anything like Blink or Charge for now. We're working towards that eventually, but there's no big prioritization of it. It's interesting. It is interesting here from Strange. As we come back in, he's so heavily reliant on these Phoenixes, and he's getting damage done. He's putting in the work. 5 more drones go down. Cham is struggling here. Oh my, oh, the trades! Oh my, I didn't realize! Strange not losing a single unit so far. That is impressive. I mean, again, he's only been harassing with these Phoenixes, but he's been attentive. He's been very attentive with them. And here we go. Strange is now pushing with a bit of a kitchen sink of an army. So you got some sentries, immortals, gateway units, Phoenixes as well. No Warp Prism to reinforce. Bear that in mind. That's what's odd to me about this move out. There is no Prism, but we're taking up even further. Second Force, Twilight Council. Bold move out here from Strange. We're going to be knocking down these force fields, but another wave of force fields gets thrown down. And we get a kill in the hatchery, just barely. We force the recall. Can we get the immortal? We cannot. Ooh, that was a clutch recall there from Strange. Does save all of his high-tech units. The immortals get away. We get a kill in the 4th hatchery. 1 sentry has died this game for Strange. Oh my god. But remember, he had a late third. He had a very late third base. Now it's getting up and running. Again, we're taking up very heavily behind this. Temple Archives now on the way. That's going to be for Archon production. Charge in production as well. Second Robo. We've been focusing a lot here on Strange. From the side of Cham, he's still just focusing on Lingbane Roach Ravager, which is very similar to his playstyle last game. He didn't hit any kind of crisp timing with his upgrades, or he wasn't anywhere near as aggressive this time. And unfortunately, well, to be fair, just because he didn't see the third, I'm pretty sure Cham assumed it was a 2-base all-in, but it wasn't. As a result, Cham doesn't have the best economy here. He's actually falling behind in the economy compared to Strange. Yeah, I do feel a big part of that is because Cham thought that Strange was going to be more aggressive than he was. So this like offbeat builds from Strange, it's hard to read. I imagine it's quite hard to read here. Cham, he's trying to retake his 4th, now redroning a little bit. Hive is done, working towards Vipers. At least Cham has the Vipers to work with. Now we do have some anti-air for said Vipers with those Phoenixes, so Cham has to be careful. Does have to take care here. Cham moves out, gets eyes on the 5th, sorry, the 4th. Moving out with his main army. Looks like Cham is content with his drone count, 74 workers for Cham. As the Ravagers are being abused, 2 Ravagers go down. Cham trying to max out, he does! He's at 200 supply. 4 base saturation, 200 supply of Lingbane Roach Ravager. We're rolling in. Good force fields. We do only get 1 of those Colossi, the other 2 as well. And we do manage to bring 2 of them down. Good pickoffs, but here come the reinforcing Immortals. They come in from the side. Bailey, they crash in as well. But the Immortals stand strong. Everyone survives. And Cham is being forced back. And this is an army that can counterattack. Cham, again, he didn't have the best bank behind this. He's trying to remax. Working on Adrenal, but here comes Strange. Once again, no Warp Prism. Can't reinforce, but he does deny the hatchery. Before backing up. Does pull back. He's got triple robot production. My god. He's making 2 Colossi and 1 Immortal at a time. Strange has to back off. Cham, again, still having a really hard time remaxing. Working towards a Spire. Doesn't have the bank, though, to get into Mass Muta. Not yet. I don't think Strange missed an opportunity there, just because Cham still did have these Vipers up and running, and would have been able to come back in with Blinding Clouds and Yoinks on abductions. So I think it was quite mature of Strange to pull back. He's remaxed, actually maxed out at this point from the side of Strange. He will catch almost a Ravager. Powerbomb does connect. Oh, the pieces. One or two of them going to be going down. Nicely done there by Cham. Army's pushing in. Then we collapse on the army. We go for some abductions. Do we have enough to really kill these Colossi, though? And two of them barely go down. The Immortals are getting low. It's a very close fight, but it looks like Strange barely has enough. Our Banelings are rolling in. We take down two more Immortals. Just barely. Where's the warp in? Where's the reinforcements? Bars are going to be connecting, and the prism goes down. We deny the warp in. But there's still too much. There's still 4 Immortals on the ground. And Strange is still breaking through. Yeah, Zealots are coming in. We have the Phoenixes. We can pick up some of these Ravagers as so. Pick them up. We shut them down. And Strange is not stopping. Cham is trying to remax as quickly as possible. He's rebuilding and remaxing with roaches. Strange backs off. I like this. Strange, he just backs off. Consolidates his army. Waiting for his reinforcements. Again, there's no rush here for Strange. He already killed the base. He's up in workers. Up in economy. And sure, Cham may have a Spire, but again, he can't really make use of it. Right now, he's fighting to survive. Mutas here would just trigger a push from Strange. And Cham is going to have a hard time defending, even with what he has now. It's not going to be easy. Strange pulling away Cham's attention towards the left. Pushing through the center. That is 22 Banelings on the way. That is a lot of Banelings, to be fair. That's a lot of Banelings, man. You have to be careful with those Zealots. As the two run by is kind of coming across each other there. But here we go, Strange pushing in towards that left-hand side. Banelings roll in as well, but where are the Zealots? They're off on the other side. The Banelings, they take down one Immortal. GG gets called. There's no dealing with this army. We just take the Banelings to the face. Just no way to stop that army. And Strange ties things up 1-1. GG, well played, Strange. He fights back, he bounces back, and does redeem himself. Congratulations here to Mystery Gaming for taking the series 5-1. A very strong performance here from Mystery Gaming. Again, I expected this to be closer. I expected Krystianer and Wayne to have more of a back and forth and at least take a couple of maps. I expected 1-1 scores all around, not gonna lie. But Coffee and Cyan, they were hot, they were on fire. GG, well played, congratulations to Mystery Gaming. We're going to be going on a short break. When we return, Shopify versus Twisted Fairy. See you soon. See you soon, Happy. See you soon.